Are you sending me the link?
Yep.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Burn it down!
Floor is yours.
Hey, this is the Burn It Down NASCAR podcast post Bristol. End of round 1 of the playoffs. What did you think?
I've obviously we know short track racing sucks, but I've never seen such boring racing at Bristol. Don't get me wrong, there were a few things,
Concur.
but it was just they need to figure out. I know they have the solution, but I don't know why they're not implementing it. They're adding all these changes. They adding stage breaks to road courses, changing that's drastic changes. Just give them the short pack track that you've tested out already at I think New Hampshire or wherever the hell it was a month ago. Give them the package, like that's my opinion. Like just screw it, give it to them. You know what to do. They've already tested it. Do it. It's better than what they got. It's so boring. It's so
ratings
boring.
were down. 200,000 people. Ratings were down, and they can't say it was weather because weather delay was only about a half hour. They moved it. The race actually got started early. If you had gone away and not known that the race got moved up an hour, set your DVR, you wouldn't have missed any race because it literally almost started right at the broadcast or the advertised time by the time they actually got it going. So, no, I agree. It was, and I'm not saying I want to see wrecking, but I want to see passing.
Well, yeah, it's the actual racing because it's so close quartered. Within, I don't know, I think within 10 laps they were already lapping or getting behind the next. So let them pass. There is no passing. Like Kyle Larson was the only one, and he figured out how to do it. And then everybody,
he came from what, dead last, didn't he?
He was the only one that was able to do it because he's just that good of a driver. But he had to manipulate what he was doing on the track, and then he'd go high, then low, and then high, and then he'd manipulate the shit they sprayed on the track. I forgot what it's called, but traction compound.
Yeah.
And he would manipulate it, and then he was also, like he said during practice, he was trying to get his tires below the apron to where it's just, how he did at North Wilkesboro. He was the only one that was trying shit, but everybody else wasn't. And it just, short track racing this year has been horrible. So,
well, I think a lot of it too is they're very cognizant of the fragility of that car with the toe link being the weakest link.
They got to do something with that
they're
too.
Scared to death. Any little, I know Brad Keselowski, he got ran the fuck over, man. He got ran over. But these guys, what the old car would have, you could have hit, and you might have got a flat tire or something, but you wouldn't have broke the whole rear end to the point where you
No.
were out of the race.
Yeah.
They have got to do something about that toe link.
They
on all
beefed it
four
up
corners.
from the first year, but it's not beefed up enough to where it.
They just need to eliminate the damn thing.
Yeah.
Go back to a regular A-frame. What's the problem?
They want.
I just don't.
They just.
Upper and lower control arm.
They're so stubborn on this car, and that's something that to me, beefing up's not going to matter. It needs a complete new redesign of some sort.
They need to go backwards. They need to give us last generation car and just work with that. I think I told you, I heard, we've been kind of wondering what's going on. I don't know if I told you this or not. I heard, I was on one of the morning shows on NASCAR radio that they're blaming Ford's performance on Ford. They had a choice at the beginning of the year to go with the low downforce or the aero package, and Ford went, I think, with the aero, and Chevy and Toyota went with the downforce, or vice versa. And since then, Ford has filed, I guess, several times to try and rescind that and get to the plane. And NASCAR's told them, sorry, you picked it. That's the rule package you took for the year, and they won't give them a break. And that's been the problem with the Fords. I guess Chris Buescher would tend to disagree with that a little bit, but anyway, Bristol, Denny Hamlin, who beat your favorite driver.
Cocky, but you know what? The NASCAR needs somebody to hate.
Did you see what somebody threw on the track afterwards?
I posted that. Going through a cucumber. There's if you go to the Bristol's Twitter page, they found the video of when the cucumber
of who threw it?
No, of when it was thrown and when it hit the track behind them. They have it when it hit. It was funny. And then they have another one where they took the cucumber and put it in a freezer and says, should we save this for later? They're having fun with it.
Anyway, Hamlin wins. I guess that's 51 for him now. And I got to say, he was class of the field, and his pit crew didn't mess up. They didn't get in his way. Larson was second. Bell was third. Buescher fourth. Ty Gibbs with a year best. Best for him for this year in a fifth place. McDowell, how could you not be rooting for McDowell through that whole race? That boy raced his butt off.
He's lucky he qualified well. If he didn't qualify well, he wouldn't have been where he was. It's just you couldn't pass.
He never really moved back. He never really moved up. There was a couple times I don't know. You just had to feel for him because he was doing everything he could. We have a Chase Elliott appearance in seventh place. Keselowski was in ninth. In eighth. Byron was in ninth, and then Stenhouse, trying to make something of his life, ended up in 10th. Another one I want to give a big shout out to is Carson Hocevar.
He's gonna skip Xfinity and go to Cup. Just when and where.
The thing is, I think that Jimmy Johnson and the gang, they signed Hunter Nemechek a little bit too hastily, because I think Carson Hocevar.
Yep.
Say that 3 times real fast.
They're gonna lose him.
They're gonna lose him, but they did announce he's gonna drive it.
But Carson's
Texas.
I think Carson's affiliated with Chevy. I don't know if he's contracted, but he's affiliated to Chevy. So him going, but him going with Legacy Motorsports, they're going Toyota. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Of note. Anyway, I just want to give a shout out to him.
Yeah,
he just drove his ass off.
Yep.
Made Noah look like a little bit of a chump. Bubba was in 14th. I don't
want to hear about Bubba because I don't want to say this, but I do. He has a literal asterisk star next to his name because he's only in the chase because all the penalties to the other drivers of Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott and Allmendinger all got penalties who would have been above them in points. He would never be in the chase. And then the crash that happened to Joey Logano, and he just is the stars aligning for him because he wouldn't be in at all if it wasn't for shit happening in front of him.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's literally just mediocre middle of the pack, and he's just getting by the skin of his teeth. And I don't...
Oh, if Logano hadn't crashed and
Harvick
would have had a normal run, I mean, that boy couldn't keep that.
Yeah.
You talk about a dart without feathers.
Yeah.
In 29th position, I mean, at least he was running at the end of the damn thing. Logano, of course, got taken out. Chastain, I'm worried about that boy. Blaney in 22nd. Kyle Busch, not his typical Bristol.
Yeah, so
performance.
it's don't get me wrong, he's just getting lucky, but you know what can you say? He's actually making it, but I don't see him making it past this round. I don't, but you never know. No, Bubba.
Oh, I don't either.
Bubbles.
I don't. Truex in 19th, and we're going to have a lot more on him here in a little bit. Tyler Reddick is in 15th. Of course, he's talked about Bubba, and that's your chase guys at Bristol. Ratings down. Let's do this real quick. Cover the brackets. A little game I implemented for you and me. At the end of round 1, I'm actually up on you by 1 point. I can actually say I'm winning at something. Now, I did make the rules for this, and I didn't even tell you we were playing this game until last week. But by God, I figured out a game that I can make the rules to, and I'm winning.
For now.
But overall, for the first round, like I said, I'm up by 1 point. You did get me this week, 223 to 201. So that's that. I want to cover this on the brackets. You smoked me on that one. You said that McDowell, Stenhouse, Blaney, and Harvick would be out. You got all of it but one right.
I got the wrong teammate. I had Blaney and Logano was out. I took Blaney. Logano took. I had the wrong teammate.
Well, nobody saw Logano. That wasn't on anybody's bingo card. I had McDowell, Stenhouse. I got right. Bubba, that was a solid pick, buddy. I'm telling you, he should not have been there. And I took Hamlin just because I was pissed at him at the time. So I got 2 out of 4 on that. And then on the actual league, our first score on that.
Oh, I haven't even looked at that.
You won it. You had a cumulative score of 134. Chris Ridley, who's in the league with us, had a 118, and I had a 105. So
is that
I get victory on one thing, and I had to make up the rules to do that.
I can't find that on the app.
It's there. I just looked at it.
Yo, yeah, I'm just talking about the app. The app. I might have to go to the website to look at the.
That's where I got it.
Yeah.
And then one other thing that we did, where'd that go? Who we picked, I don't what did I do with that? Oh, there it is. For the win at Bristol, you picked Logano, he was 34th. I picked Larson, he was 2nd. Dark Horse, good for you, man. You picked Gibbs, he was 5th.
Oh,
that was a run for that boy. And I took Bowman, he was 13th. So as far as I'm concerned, other than we have all heard that Bristol is going to be done with playing in the dirt. They're going back to concrete next year for both races. I'm done with Bristol. I've had it with Bristol, honestly.
Man, I don't know. I'm looking at who's left. I don't know who's going to make it today. There's a... Man.
I already got mine. I already picked. But
oh, wow. I didn't even realize who was left. Like everyone could those. Look at the schedule. What races are coming up?
Texas,
Talladega and Roval.
the Roval, yeah.
Blaney won at Roval. He won at Texas. Talladega's anybody. Wow. Bubba may get through with Talladega in. Hate to say it.
He'll never make it through the Roval.
Well,
And
if he wins Talladega, it won't matter.
He'll never make it at Talladega. He'll never make it. He's going to be too aggressive. Now, the only place I think if he wins at Texas, then
Wow,
we'll see.
I don't know what to say.
We can save this for later.
Oh, I'm
We
just
got
looking
other
at it now. You're fine, yeah.
I know what I said. I already wrote down who I'm picking to go. So we're done with that. We're done with. I am keeping that one because that's something I may frame this. All right. Of course, we got Texas this coming week. I haven't really done any research.
There's the reason why they moved the All-Star away from Texas, because it wasn't a good race. So,
Well, in the day, it was a good race. It really was. I don't know what's happened to it. It used to be a fun one. That dude that owns and promotes for the track, he always had something stupid going on, but it was funny to watch. And the reason being, he was always competing with the fanfare and the noise about Talladega, because this race coming up at Talladega in 2 weeks. If anybody's got, besides a Bristol or something of that nature, if there's a race that you want to go to and it's a 1 week party, it is Talladega. The infield, that place is insane. I haven't seen Spare Tire Guy. You remember him?
no.
The dude that ran around wearing a spare tire, like a set of bib overalls, had like rope around his, and just a big old mag tire,
Oh,
and that with nothing else. That was his cover. It was funny. It was cool. Let's see. Last 10 races. Let's go with average finish. See who's strong there. Harvick, average finish of 6.2 and 3 wins in the last 10 races. Hey, here's a nice little ditty for you. Tyler Reddick, he's only been there 4 times, 1 win, 3 top 10s. He must have DNF'd one time because his average finish is 6.8. Logano's good here. Blaney. Eric Jones. There's a nice little nugget. 10 races, 9.9 average finish. Chase Briscoe. Although he's back in Xfinity now, isn't he?
Briscoe? No, that's Cole Custer.
Cole Custer, okay. Kyle Busch, 11.8. Willie B, 13.5. Chase doesn't seem to like this track. Only 4 top 10s in the last 10 races. He's only finished 6 out of the last 10 races there. He's had a tough time. Christopher Bell, 1 DNF. Brad Keselowski. He's had a pole. 6 top 10s, average finish of 15.8. He's only finished 7 races, so he's DNF 3 times. Truex, wow. 10 races, DNF 4 times. So Kyle Larson, this might be a time to put him on the shelf. 8 races, 3 DNFs. He has a win, and it looks like he's top 5 or he's on the hook. 4 top 10s, 8 races, 3 DNFs. So taking your chance with him. See if anybody else did. Bubba, I'm telling you, he's not so hot here. 8 races, 1 top 10, 2 DNFs, average finish of 23.6. That's a hell of a hole to start out in or put yourself in when you're already below the cut line. Another one is Chastain. 6 races.
He's banking on Talladega. That's all he's banking on.
Yeah. Well, anyway, 6 races. He's only finished one time. Chastain. Holy crap. 5 DNFs. All right, that's pretty much it on those guys. I hadn't looked at it like I normally do, so I wanted to get a little. Texas is, it's kind of like a bank. I don't know, like it's kind of like an Atlanta, just not banked as much.
Yeah.
It's similar. It can be a cool race, but do you want to go ahead and pick who you think's gonna win there?
Oh man. So are we doing top 12 only? Since it's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, top 12 only.
I'll give it the Willie B.
The Byron?
Yeah.
I'm going. Oh man, I'm going with Tyler Reddick. He's really been clicking lately. And who's your darky horse?
I'm gonna say Ty Gibbs.
That's who I was gonna say. We can both have the same at this time of year. All right. That's that. Like I said, in the league, you beat me 223 to 201. I had one league. One of the other leagues I'm in, I had a 247, and I was still like 50 something in the league. It's like Jesus. All right. Let's move on to the brackets, and then we'll do the news things if you're ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who you say is going out?
I just did a little picks and who I see not making it. As much as I don't want to say it, but it'd be Chris Buescher, Chastain, Blaney, and Wallace.
Buescher, Blaney, Wallace, and Chastain.
Yeah, Buescher. Yeah, Blaney, Chastain, Wallace.
And ladies and gentlemen, him and I did not talk about this.
Really?
Well, we're not all that same. You took Buescher. I take Blaney has gone.
I had Blaney gone. I had Buescher, Chastain,
Okay.
Blaney, Wallace.
Buescher, Chastain, Blaney, Wallace. I've got Blaney, Wallace, Chastain. I'm keeping Buescher in and Reddick. So that is I've got them wrote in different orders because I wrote them down in different orders.
You took Reddick over.
I took Reddick over. I've Reddick in, Buescher, or Reddick gone, Buescher in, and I just picked Reddick for the win.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna win one of those two. I just can't see 23-11. Although, man, Reddick is just, gosh, he's really been on a roll. Maybe that's a good reason to pick him to go
That's
out.
why it was hard. Now, like Buescher's been on too, but man, like I said, it was hard between Keselowski and I almost said Bell. I'm like, no, he's been.
I was thinking about that too.
He's been
Well, you know
qualifying
what?
well every time too.
A little bit of newsy thing here. You know, Bell and Gibbs swapped crews this week.
No.
Yeah. Ty Gibbs gets a 5th place finish, and Christopher Bell, where'd he end up? It wasn't that bad. Can't believe it. Or was it that bad? Bell, 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 bell. Where are you at, dummy? Oh, he must not have raced because I can't find him. There he is. He was third. So it didn't seem to make much of a difference, even swapping crew chiefs. And of course, you had, I said Gibbs in fifth, and Hamlin wins. 3 of the Gibbs cars in the top 5. And I said, this is going to come in, this stat is going to come into my conversation a little bit later after we get done tying everything up, which I think we've just about done. Of course, we know the race was moved up. They still got it started about the same time. Bristol's back to concrete. Everybody's, if not cheering, at least a huge sigh of relief. 2 major driver things this week. Well, not major, but of note. Daniel Hemrick is going to the 31 Colleague car. I hope it works out. I don't know. Colleagues had their good moments. And then the one that, did we cover this Trackhouse lease charter thing last year?
Last week? No.
Last week, no. I have never seen anything like this. But
it's weird, for sure.
Yeah, evidently Spire Motorsports bought
Live Fast, number 78 charter. It won't be number 78 most likely, but they bought that charter.
Okay, so Spire Motorsports bought or acquired the charter from Live Fast Motorsports.
Yep.
Then Trackhouse, in turn, is leasing
that charter to put Zane Smith that they
in a Trackhouse as teammate to Ross and Suarez.
Yeah.
And then at the same time signed Shane Van Gisbergen
to
a full
developmental
year deal. Yeah, he's gonna do truck, Xfinity, and Cup in
the 91
project
car.
Yeah. So I mean, it's convoluted.
My guess, like I said, maybe it's just hey, we can't afford it right now. You buy it, we'll lease it from you, and then next year we'll buy it from you. I don't know how that's gonna work, but they bought it for $40 million.
I know.
That blows my mind. You have all that money, but you have Ty Gibbs driving for you and Corey LaJoie. Like, you don't have more. You don't have more money to get better drivers. I'm sorry, Ty Gibbs is not the best. Corey LaJoie,
not Ty Gibbs.
It's Ty Gibbs. No, Ty Dillon. Sorry, Ty
Dillon.
Dillon.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ty Dillon.
Don't you shame my Ty.
So I didn't mean that it was a Ty. I knew I was right. It was Ty Dillon, which they haven't announced him in that car next year at all. So we know Corey LaJoie is because they just extended his contract.
Yep.
It's
I see
weird.
Your point. They got all that FU money and
can't get better drivers.
Well,
maybe the 77's going to Noah Gragson. Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea.
Can they do that without a? Well, they already got those because they buy it. Isn't that Live Fast the one that Greg Biffle took a few rides in? Or was it the Money Machine?
Maybe.
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was number 50.
Yeah.
For a Mayweather.
Right. Anything else you want to touch on before we get to kind of the big one?
Nothing else that I can think of.
Because I got a couple of different directions I want to go with this. As we all, I sure by now, because as we record, it's Wednesday evening. Sherry Pollock, and for those that don't know who she is the longtime girlfriend / fiance / back to girlfriend of Martin Truex Jr. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer a few years back, beat it back, and it came back as ovarian. Now keep that little time frame in the back of your mind because I got some expanding to do on that a little bit. Anyway, Danica Patrick. There's a lot of posts this weekend about or about Sherry Pollock and sympathies and Martin Truex. He even put out after the race on Sunday a very, very heartfelt, nice post. But then Danica Patrick has to open her big freaking mouth.
She always does.
And you've got the quote up. You want to read it real quick?
Yeah. I don't know. Should I read Martin Truex first? And
No, save that for.
Okay.
Let's concentrate on the Danica thing, and then we'll go into the Martin Sherry thing.
Danica Patrick took a screenshot of Martin Truex's statement, then added a comment of her own. She goes, "I avoid negativity on social media, okay, at almost all costs." And then she goes, "Almost, but this is the most insensitive disconnect statement from a guy that I have never liked and for good reason. I don't care what happened between them, but this is as cold as it gets. A PR rep wrote this, guaranteed." Patrick concluded, "You're free from this now, Sherry."
You know what I'm saying? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Danica. Number one, you just got fired from Sky Sports. You just lost, as of today, Wednesday, September 20th, she got fired. So she's lost that gig. I can promise you that I will not have to put up with her on Fox Sports next year during any races at all. I think she got what she deserved. I think she's an arrogant bitch that has needed to be taken down. She's gotten where she's gotten on one thing, and it's not talent. You don't sleep with the Green Bay quarterback for 4 or 5 years because you guys have the possibility of making super talented children. That's the only reason she's gotten where she's gotten is because of her appearance. Period. End of story. And she's rode that to the bank and back a few times. And finally, she's hung herself, and I'm so happy about it. I've never liked that woman because I think she's no talent. That's it. Period. The end. She should never have been in IndyCar. She should never have been in NASCAR. She was a talentless, fine on the eyes to look at person, and that's all she was. Now, I promise you one other thing. No PR guy wrote that for Martin Truex. He did that on his own. That was him. And I feel sorry for him and Sherry and what could have been with them. And of course, Sherry's family. Now, I want to give out a little information that I'm not sure whether a lot of people know, maybe more people than I think know. But Sherry and Martin have been boyfriend, girlfriend for
20 years.
And
it was a long time.
And they were going to get married. And then she came down with this ovarian cancer, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years ago, whatever it was. And she told him that she would not marry him while she was under a life-threatening diagnosis.
Yeah.
And he respected that, especially being ovarian cancer, that put in big jeopardy the possibility of them having children. Well, then when she beat this ovarian cancer, they were re-engaged and they were going to be married for the second time. And then this cancer spread through her body and got into her lungs. And she called it off again. She says, "I'm not going to make you a widower. It's not going to happen. I love you, but I'm not going to enter into a marriage that I know I'm going to break your heart." And of course, he's like, "You're going to break my heart anyway." But
yeah.
That is the story of this. Everyone thinks that Martin Truex is so full of himself and such a cad, and he wouldn't wouldn't commit to her. That's not the story. The story is she didn't want to be in a marriage she knew that she was going to die in. Then, of course, enter Danica. And it got me into a little bit different train of thought. because we've all year long. God, what's going on with Truex, man? He's just not there. He's not up to performance, and nobody knew what was going on. You've got the other three cars, Gibbs, Bell, and Hamlin, performing top peak with the same equipment.
You mean last year or
Hell,
this year? Last year.
This year.
What do you mean? He won this. He won the regular season championship.
But he hasn't been of late.
Well, last year he didn't do shit. Well, this year of late, yeah, he probably knew what was going on.
My point is, I think the whole deal with Sherry getting sick again has kind of weighed on him. Because you got the other three cars that are like in peak form right now. They're excelling. But I wanted to beat Danica Patrick like a man. That was so uncalled for and so insensitive. And like anybody gives a day, whether you like the guy or not.
Yeah, no. I wonder if they knew this was coming. That's why they broke up before the beginning of the season and says, leave us, whatever.
Absolutely, that's it.
So
that's why.
So they knew this was coming, and probably not this soon, but it was, yeah.
It's not like they were estranged.
No.
They were still tight. They just,
yeah.
She told him, I can't marry you knowing that I'm going to die.
Literally, they told me in less than a year. They probably told her, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. So I was just very we'll see. It'll be interesting this week at Texas to see how this is handled with Truex and his crew and the TV and all that, because it's going to be a thing. It is definitely going to be a thing. And I want to check the news real quick, because the last time we were on, things broke right as we, a lot of it too. It was like, oh, you got to be shitting me, really? I'm not seeing anything, but nope, nothing that I'm seeing.
Well, last time this happened, we go to Twitter, because stuff literally hit the fan on Twitter when it happened.
Yep.
Let me go to Bob.
You're right, Mr. Pacross.
Nope, nothing until 5 hours ago.
All right. Well, with that, we got Texas. We picked our winners in Dark Horse. We picked our next four out for the brackets.
Bob tweeted yesterday. He says Goodyear has a new right side tire for Texas, same left side as a year ago, and used it for several other tracks. Has a construction update, so would hope for more durability. Hamlin, Logano, and Suarez did a tire test in July.
Still doesn't fix what's wrong with the car.
No.
So, all right. Like I said, I just kind of scoured real quick. J-Ski, I didn't see anything. They're usually pretty quick on the fly too. 36 teams are. They got 4 empty spots. You want to get a car together and go race at Texas?
No.
No.
I don't have the money. I'll drive the car. Sure.
See if you can beat Bubba.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard.
Just finish.
Pretty much.
All right. I am done. We got our picks. Too late to join the playoffs or the league. We wish I got a plan to get a lot more people in there next year, so we'll just ride this year out, and at least we got a third one in for the playoff grid. So
yeah, there's nothing news. It looks like everything. Well, last week you did it on Tuesday, so usually stuff
things
happens.
Were breaking. That was NASCAR report card day.
Oh, I mean, we could say that, Clash is back.
We knew that, but I
But-
guarantee you after this year it won't be.
That was the third year, yeah.
They'll be done.
Did you hear that? They even said it on broadcast that Trevor Bayne, he's trying to prove to himself to come back full time. I don't know why they haven't done it when he was racing this week.
Well, remember, I was asking.
I know,
why.
yeah, and then apparently he did an interview. I don't know if he talked real to the to the broadcasters, but he said he's trying to prove to whoever that he can go full time again. I don't know why they can't do it because I guarantee you he can.
Well, he's got that multiple sclerosis thing going on. Maybe they've got that under control enough. I don't know. He hasn't missed a planned race yet that I'm aware of.
No, he's always been up there, though. He's always been competing, but I think he has the mindset of I have to win or go home. So he's always being super aggressive and not lasting to the end to be able to fight. He's just saying, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do... He's taking unnecessary risks that are taking him out.
Yeah, but he hasn't made any mistakes.
No, he's not doing stupid mistakes. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But I think if he had a ride, he wouldn't put himself in those situations to have those problems. There's different decision making in that mentality of this is the only thing I got.
I'd love to see him over at Stewart Haas. I think that'd be a great fit.
I don't know if he wants to drive Ford.
Well, why not? It's not like any other manufacturer's got him signed up.
Well, it won't matter because if Stewart Haas goes down the 2 cars, that's if it does, because there's that rumor going on. We don't know yet.
Well, what's his face? Almirola, is he still retired?
Apparently. I don't know. He might he might 1 more year.
You got Josh Berry taking over the number 4, correct?
Yeah. The only ones that are in contract through next year is Josh Berry and Chase Briscoe. Ryan Preece and Almirola, I think, are just this year. I could be wrong on that.
There hasn't been any announcement to replace those. Do you think they're just taking them out?
There's a possibility.
I'd love to see Trevor Bayne in one of those 2 cars. At least give him a shot for
a
year.
Junior, buy the charters, put Trevor Bayne and Noah Gragson in the cars.
Hey, there you go.
There's options of good drivers.
I'd rather see Hocevar with Junior.
Yeah.
How'd you like Junior catching on fire?
Man, I was hoping he'd win it, but apparently he was super nervous apparently for racing, but because he hasn't been in the car for a while. But yeah, I thought he was gonna do really well. Then his tunnel caught on fire, which caught his suit on fire, and he pulled out in front of I don't know whose pit crew, but they all came out and helped him.
Yeah. Well, he's racing, which I didn't know about. He's racing again at Homestead.
Yeah.
That's a little more aggressive because I know he's been scared because of his medical reasons for leaving the sport, the concussion thing. Maybe he's feeling a little better. I don't know. Yeah, that would be great. See him get him and Kelly get those 2 charters. Put Trevor and Hocevar in the cars. They'd probably drag somebody off their Xfinity team just to pay him back for loyalty, but.
Oh, they got the money. If they said they're going the Cup, I guarantee you, Mountain Dew or Adidas, all of those sponsorships would come back. Nationwide and Ally. I know he's partners with Ally. Yeah, they could have money for just because of Junior's associated.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think they'd have any trouble funding a top tier team. Be affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports. Come on.
Oh yeah, in his mind, him and Kelly it's the $40 million per charter cost is just outrageous to them, which I agree.
Like it's coming out of their pocket.
If they get the sponsorship money, I guarantee they'd do it. Hey, I'll give you $40 million for the charter. Boom, done.
Yep.
And they could do it easily.
Wouldn't that be earth shattering if Stewart Haas gave up 2 of their charters?
That's what Roush did. Remember, Roush had 5, and they dwindled it down to 2.
Yeah.
But it wasn't charters back then because they didn't have to have charters. They brought a car to the track.
And at that time, you could have 5 cars per team.
Yep.
Every week. All right. I think I'm done, sir.
Yeah. That it? Done?
I'm done.
All right.
Everybody have a good week. See you after Texas. We'll
right.
be here.